Hey everybody, my name is Brett Glasser, and thank you for joining us here at 88.3 The Saint as we take a trip back to the video store, where we take a look at some of our favorite movies of the 80s and 90s and celebrate the soundtracks that brought them to life. We are so happy to have you hanging out with us in the video store, and for the next hour, we are going to take a look at a few spooky films whose soundtracks have certainly stood up against the test of time. So tonight, here at Back to the Video Store, we have turned the open sign on. And walking into the video store now, we have Justin. Justin, let everyone know you're here.
Hey everybody, I am here.
So tonight, we have a special show in store for you. As with it being Halloween, and the sun has now gone down, it's time to get spooky and scary here at the video store and celebrate a variety of horror movies that featured some amazing music. So break out the candy corn and ecto coolers as we kick off a few tracks from the movies that made you afraid to fall asleep with Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Fred Krueger's the name, and you know my game. Elm Street's the place, if you got the time, listen to this, you'll bust the rhyme.
Fred Krueger the myth, or Fred Krueger the man. It doesn't matter, cause I'm still rapping about him, understand? So sit back, Jack, I'm gonna bust the rhyme. Grab a hold of your face, it's Krueger time.
It's time for Freddy. See, I'm a popular guy. If you don't know yet, you're gonna find out why.
In 1984, the man of your nightmares crept onto the big screens and terrified audiences for years to come. Directed by Wes Craven and starring Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Amanda Weiss, and newcomer Johnny Depp, A Nightmare on Elm Street told the story of Fred Krueger, with his iconic red and green sweater and glove of knives, who stalked the teens of Elm Street once they fell asleep and entered the dream world. It goes without saying that A Nightmare on Elm Street had a huge impact on pop culture and how horror movies were made, and if they ever make a Mount Rushmore for horror icons, Freddy Krueger would definitely be a top contender. One thing that I wasn't even aware of until recently was that Wes Craven was inspired to create the story after a tragic real-life incident that he saw on the news, involving a teenager who was convinced he would die if he fell asleep, and after attempting to stay awake, he was actually found dead in his bedroom, with his death being unexplained. Details of the news story included a coffee machine being found in the closet, and the idea of being terrified to fall asleep was planted in Wes Craven's mind. The Nightmare on Elm Street series kicked off a slew of sequels, and the last appearance of Freddy being in Freddy vs. Jason, and then in the reboot starring Bad News Bears Jackie Earle Haley, which really didn't land with its fan base. So Justin, with all the movies in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, is there one that happens to be your favorite? As I know these were repeatedly watched in our home growing up. We actually still own here at the video store Nightmare on Elm Street 5 on a blank VHS that we had growing up. So out of all of them, what would you recommend for everyone out there who wants to do a little Freddy?
I think 1 and 2 have the best storylines, but as far as fun movies, I would say for me it's 4 or maybe 5. I thought those were the most fun. 5 is the Dream Child, where she is pregnant and Freddy's like attacking her baby in utero.
Yeah, and I think it kind of goes without saying that as the movies go on, they become more fun. So as each one progresses, they just become a lot more audience friendly.
Like ridiculous, yeah,
exactly. My choice would definitely be the Dream Warriors.
That's
as far as, you know, when you enter the dream world, you have some type of power. But I think Freddy's Dead, easily one you can throw on to this day, still has lots of great scenes, starring a young Breckin Meyer from Road Trip and Can't Hardly Wait, and also starring friend of Back to the Video Store, Ricky Dean Logan, who played Carlos in the film. And Justin, I have this map here that you haven't gotten to see yet, but this here is one of the maps from the film, and it has a catchphrase that we can't say on the air, but this is signed by Ricky Dean Logan. Now, one song we are going to listen to off the tracks from A Nightmare on Elm Street is from Iggy Pop, and this song was featured in the end credits of Freddy's Dead to an amazing compilation of all the Freddy kills from previous films. So head over to the Back to the Video Store as we will have that up for you tonight to check out. So let's dive right into our first tracks from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Where up first we have Anything Anything from Dramarama,
one of my favorites.
Why Was I Born from Iggy Pop, and Inagata Devita from Iron Butterfly, all right here where the video store will live on forever on WVCR 88.3 The Saint.
What is it tonight? Please just tell me what the hell is wrong. Do you wanna eat? Do you wanna sleep? Do you wanna drown? Just settle down, settle down, settle down. I'll give you candy, give you diamonds, give you pills, give you anything you want. $100 bills. I'll even let you watch the shows you wanna see. Just marry me, marry me, marry me. I'm so sick of you tonight. You never stay awake when I get home. Is something wrong with me? Something wrong with you? I really wish I knew, wish I knew, wish I knew. I'll give you candy, give you diamonds, give you pills. I'll give you anything you want. $100 bills. I'll even let you watch the shows you wanna see because you married me, married me, married me. Marry me, marry me, marry me. I was young, I learned a game. And love and happiness were the same. Now I'm older and I don't play. I found out the hardest way. I got wasted, she got mad. Called me names and she called her dad. He got crazy and I did too. Wondered what I did to you. I gave you candy, gave you diamonds, gave you pills. I'll give you anything you want. $100 bills. I even let you hear the songs I wanna sing. I'll give you anything, anything, anything. I'll give you anything, anything, anything. I'll give you anything, anything, anything.
Everybody's thinking in corruption rules the day. Hot yellow wind should come and blow them all away. Los Angeles, I need them all, they run the show. There's somewhere else where I can go. To the daylight, where the night's right. Raining, feeling alright. Why was I born? Why was I born? Why was I born? I don't care what you have, I don't care who you are. You sit up there, you think you're bigger than the star. Who gave you everything, the reason just to live? There's nothing you've got to give.
You think Freddy's dead? Do you really think that Freddy's dead?
In a garden of Peter, honey, don't you know that I'm loving you? In a garden of Peter, baby, don't you know that I'll always be true? Oh, won't you come with me and take my hand? Oh, won't you come with me and walk this line? Please take my hand. Let me tell you that. In a garden of Eden, honey, don't you know that I'm loving you? In a garden of Eden, baby, don't you know that I'll always be true? Oh, won't you come with me and take my hand? Oh, won't you come with me and walk this line? Please take my hand.
And that's it, plain and simple. I don't want to hear anything about I don't believe in vampires. Because I don't believe in vampires. What I believe in my own two eyes, and what I saw is vampires. Now, do we all agree that what we are dealing with is vampires?
Yes.
You too, preacher?
I don't believe in vampires, but I believe in what I saw.
Good for you. All right, now that we all agree that we're dealing with vampires, what do we know about vampires? Crosses hurt vampires. Do we have a cross?
In the motor home.
In other words, no.
Wait a second. I mean, just look around. We got crosses all over the place. All you gotta do is put two sticks together. You got a cross.
Yeah, he's right. Peter Cushing does that all the time.
Okay, I'll buy that. So we got crosses covered. What else?
Wooden stakes in the hard been working pretty good so far. And garlic, sunlight, holy water. I'm not sure. Doesn't silver have something to do with vampires?
That's werewolves.
I know silver bullets are werewolves, but I'm sure silver has something to do with vampires.
Well, does anybody have any silver? Okay, then who cares?
88.3 The Saint, thank you so much for hanging out with us in the video store tonight on this spooky Halloween as we put out some new releases on the shelf and take a deep dive into the music from some of our favorite horror movies of the past. So coming up next, we're going to dabble into a few different movie soundtracks, and by far, my favorite in the next bunch is without a doubt, no argument, 1996 From Dusk Till Dawn. Now, the best thing about this film is going into it blind. The first time I saw it, I was blown away by the first half of the movie, which follows the Gecko brothers, played by George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino, as they run from the law and make their way to the Mexican border. What makes this stand out is that you have no idea you are in for a vampire movie until almost the halfway point in the film, where without warning, all hell breaks loose. Also starring Salma Hayek, Harvey Keitel, and Juliette Lewis, From Dusk Till Dawn is an absolute treat, and one that I would highly recommend putting in tonight. Justin, I know this is one of your favorites as well. Any thoughts come to mind with Dusk Till Dawn?
Just a couple. I love how there's like a switch in the middle of the movie where it just goes from two guys on the run, like you were saying, to vampire survival movie. But also I love the performance by Tito and Tarantula, the Chicano rock band, playing the soundtrack at the bar.
Right, and once they get to the bar, it's just great. Another standout is obviously you have Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong, and he plays 3 different characters in the movie. Keep your eyes out for him. Also, amazing use of the soundtrack, and favorite scene is without a doubt when the good guys have their backs up against the wall, facing certain doom, and they stumble upon a storeroom with all sorts of supplies and weapons that the vampires have been taking from the truckers that they have killed. It's one of my favorite movie cliches where the good guys re-up on weapons and supplies when they're down and out, and For Dusk Till Dawn certainly delivers, as the super soaker filled with holy water is still one of my favorites to this day. So let's continue on with our horror soundtrack hits. We're coming your way. We have off the From Dusk Till Dawn soundtrack from 1996, After Dark from Tito and the Tarantula, and then we have from the American Werewolf in London soundtrack, Moondance from Van Morrison, right here, where VHS is a way of life and the video store will never die on iHeartRadio and 88.3 The Saint.
shelter and waits for after dark, after dark, after dark, after
I realize I don't look so hot, David. But I thought you'd be glad to see me.
Has it occurred to you that it might be unsettling to see you rise from the grave to visit me?
David!
What?
Now, I'm really sorry to be upsetting you, but I have to warn you.
Warn me?
We were attacked by a werewolf.
I'm not listening to this.
On the moors. We were attacked by a lycanthrope, a werewolf. I was murdered, an unnatural death. And now I walk the earth in limbo until the werewolf's curse is lifted.
Shut up.
The wolf's bloodline must be severed. The last remaining werewolf must be destroyed. It's you, David.
88.3 The Saint, so that brings us halfway through our Halloween Spooktacular episode of Back to the Video Store. Now, while I give out some bonkers and Clark bars to these trick-or-treaters coming to the door, we are going to take a quick break, so grab another Ecto Cooler and hang tight, as we will return in just a minute with more Back to the Video Store right here on iHeartRadio and 88.3 The Saint.
Oh, I do enjoy an evening with a little light entertainment. But when your video heads get dirty, you lose your picture. Not a pretty sight. Happily, this new Polaroid video cassette will help you. It actually cleans your heads as it plays, so dirty heads needn't haunt you. New Polaroid video cassettes. Get the picture?
Hey everybody, this is Renalise Santiago, the Phantom Freak from Hackers, and Sally Can't Dance from Con Air, and you're listening to WVCR 88.3, The Saint.
88.3 The Saint, thank you so much for hanging out with us in the video store tonight as the undead walk the streets in search of candy, where we are celebrating the music from some of our favorite horror movies of the past. Another gem from the 80s that I don't think gets enough love around Halloween is the weird and wonderful Beetlejuice. Directed by Tim Burton and starring Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, this is without a doubt one that still holds up and is definitely one that's worth throwing in this time of year. One thing many people don't realize is that the career of Tim Burton would never have taken off if it wasn't for the one and only Pee Wee Herman. It was only after the success of Pee-wee's Big Adventure that Tim Burton became a bankable director, which then led to him directing 1988's Beetlejuice and then 1989's Batman. Michael Keaton was a huge celebrity at the time, and he blew audiences away as his performance as the one and only Beetlejuice. However, that same audience was in an uproar when just a year later it was announced that Michael Keaton would be putting on the cowl as the Dark Knight in Batman. Due to his comedic brilliance in Beetlejuice, it was extremely hard to think of the same actor as the brooding Caped Crusader, but Tim Burton was in his prime and made the magic happen, turning both films into huge successes and many considering Michael Keaton to be the best Batman for years to come. So Justin, thoughts on Beetlejuice? What comes to mind?
Oh, well, of course, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, so many great performances in this movie. But for me, even when I was a kid watching it, the soundtrack was fantastic. Harry Belafonte giving a few songs for the movie. Deo, yes. Man Smart, Woman Smarter, Sweetheart from Venezuela, and of course, Jump in the Line at the end of the movie. And then also the score by Danny Elfman was absolutely fantastic too.
From Oingo Boingo fame.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so let's take a trip through a couple tracks off the soundtrack to Beetlejuice. We're up next, we have two from Harry Belafonte with Deo and Jump in the Line, right here on 88.3 The Saint, where VHS will never die.
Deo, Deo, daylight come and me want go home. Me said Deo, daylight come and me want go home.
Work all night and a drink a rum.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Stack banana till the morning come.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Live
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home.
Day is a day, oh.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Day is a day, is a day, is a day.
Daylight come and we want go home.
A beautiful bunch, a ripe banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Hide the deadly black tarantula.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Live
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home.
Day is a day, oh.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Day is a day, is a day, is a day.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Day-o, day-o.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Day is a day, is a day, is a day, is a day, is a day.
Daylight come and we want go
Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. My girl's name is Sonora. I tell you, friends, I adore her. And when she dances, oh brother, she's a hurricane in all kinds of weather. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. You can talk about cha-cha, tango, waltz or the rumba. Senora's dance has no title. You jump in the saddle, hold on to the bridle. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body. Rock your body, child. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Somebody help me. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Yeah. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. Sinora, she's a sensation, the reason for aviation. And fellas, you got to watch it. When she wind up, she bottom, she go like a rocket. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body in time. High star skirts a little higher, jump in the line, rock your body in time. Up the chimney, jump in the line, rock your body in time. Whoa. shake your body line. Work, 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 Sinora. Work it all the time. Dance, 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 Sinora. Dance it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora. Work it all the time. Sinora dances calypso. Left to right is the tempo. And when she gets the sensation, she go up in the air, come down in slow motion. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Somebody help me. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Oh! Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora.
What I mean is, can you be scary?
Oh, I know you're asking me. Can it be scary? What do you think of this? You like it?
Excuse us, please.
Sure, talk amongst yourselves.
Excuse me?
What?
Excuse me. We are leaving now.
Oh, wait. Oh, come on. Don't go yet. Hey, guy, come on. We're simpatico here. Look at us. Huh? We even shop in the same store. Hey, hermano. Yeah, there you go. Hey, come on. We're like peas in a pod, the three of us. Let's face it, you want somebody out of the house. I want to get somebody out of your house. Come on. Look, we've been to Saturn. Hey, I've been to Saturn. Whoa. Sandworms. You hate them, right? I hate them myself. Come on, kids. What do I have to do to strike a deal with you two, huh?
Let's go, Barbara.
Wait. Come on. Just come on for a while. We'll talk inside. Come on.
Adam, we have to get out of here.
I agree, but
I'll fix something to eat.
Home.
Barbara, how did you do that?
Hope you like Italian. Where'd you go? Hey, come on. Hey, where'd you go? Oh, hey, come on. You gotta work with me here. I'm just trying to cut a deal. What do you want me to do? Where are you? You bunch of losers!
88.3 The Saint, we are coming to you live from the video store here at the end of the 43 Mall. And as always, we are thrilled you decided to spend your Saturday night with us here. And for the next segment, we want to give a nod to what I would consider one of the most underappreciated and underrated horror movies to come out of the 90s, Tales from the Crypt's Demon Knight, starring Billy Zane, William Sadler, and Jada Pinkett. Now, if this is one you missed, Demon Knight is the story of a stranger who's on the run and seeks refuge in a rundown motel in the middle of New Mexico. Soon the other motel guests realize that this stranger is a demon-killing all-star who has sworn an oath to protect the final cosmic key being sought after by the devil himself. Billy Zane from Titanic fame gives a stellar performance, and it also has an appearance from one of my favorite character actors, Dick Miller, who has been seen in over 180 films and of course played the lovable Mr. Futterman in Gremlins.
What was also another performance in it that was great was the character of Wally. You might recognize him as being the voice of Roger Rabbit in the Roger Rabbit movies.
I did not know that.
But was also in the movie, I think he played the character Dr. King in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies as well.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Yeah. But yeah, fantastic movie. The other song on the soundtrack I really liked was Cemetery Gates by Pantera.
Yeah, there's a few great tracks. Also Ministry, Henry Rollins Band. But let's not forget the track from Gravediggers, which was a rap group from New York City featuring RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan that mixed hardcore hip-hop, heavy metal, and horror elements, pioneering a new music genre called horrorcore. So Justin, did you know that a few different films were actually considered to be the first Tales from the Crypt movie? And one is even on this show, and another stars Michael J. Fox. You have any guesses?
Frighteners, maybe?
Oh, there you go.
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
So the one that was on our show was Dusk Till Dawn. And of course, Michael J. Fox, fantastic film from the 90s, The Frighteners, which is definitely a hidden gem. If you haven't seen that one, be
really
sure
good
to check it out. But yes, these were contenders to be the first Tales from the Crypt feature film, but Demon Knight won out. And just a few more things on Demon Knight. This is actually the first time we got to see the Crypt Keeper actually walk, as the puppet is normally behind a table. And this film is also a bit unconventional when it comes to the horror film rules, as the one small kid in the film, Danny, who you would assume will live, soon gets turned into a demon and explodes. Supposed to be released on Halloween in 1994 as a big Halloween event, unfortunately, the film just wasn't ready at the time, so they went with the second best day to release a horror film, Friday the 13th in 1995. So let's finish out this Halloween Spooktacular with our next tracks. We're coming up next off the Demon Knight soundtrack, we have Filter with Hey Man, Nice Shot. Then from the Friday the 13th series, the godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper with He's Back, the man behind the mask. And it wouldn't be a proper Halloween without a little Rocky Horror in your life. So we'll wrap it all up with Hot Patootie, performed by Meatloaf from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Right here, where the video store has been resurrected on WVCR 88.3 The Same.
I wish I would have met you. Now it's a little late. What you could have taught me, I could have saved some face. They think that your early ending was all wrong. You're not alone, this is your last dance and your last romance. Yeah, 'cause he's back. He's the man behind the mask, and he's out of control. He's back, the man behind the mask, and he crawled out of his hole.
WVCR 88.3 The Saint. Well, folks, it's that time once again. As we look out the window, we can see the ground round turning off the lights and the trick-or-treaters going inside, which means we need to start wrapping things up here on Back to the Video Store. Now, before we close up shop, with this being a video store, it would be a crime for us not to give out a couple recommendations each week for all of you out there in video land. So, Justin, anything available that you'd recommend on this spooky Halloween?
Yeah, I think we'll go with a classic zombie movie, 1985's Day of the Dead. A lot of people saw Dawn of the Dead and the remake Dawn of the Dead. I don't think a lot of people saw Day of the Dead, but it's absolutely fantastic, where he kind of humanizes the zombies a little bit, which is really cool.
And I would tell people to go check out the 1980s horror smash. Well, maybe not a smash. Critters still holds up. 1, 2, and 3 are all good, but definitely check out part 1 if you haven't seen that yet.
Ooh, scary. No!
So unfortunately, our shift here at the video store has come to an end for the night here on 88.3 The Saint. Justin, as always, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Great to be here.
And as always, a big thanks to our producer in the booth, Sean the Wolfman Allen, for making the magic happen. And be sure to follow Back to the Video Store on Facebook for our upcoming shows, giveaways, and check out backtothevideostore.com, where we have all sorts of good stuff, including past shows, all ad-free. Well, folks, the open sign has officially been turned off, and we are going to lock up for the night here on Back to the Video Store. My name is Brett Glassler, and thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Be sure to join us here every Saturday night at 7 p.m. as we celebrate the movies from the video store that we love and remember. So as always, folks, be excellent to each other, and be kind, and please rewind.
On this very night, 10 years ago, along this same stretch of road, in a dense fog, just like this, I saw the worst accident I ever seen. There was this sound, like a garbage truck dropped off the Empire State Building. And when they finally pulled the driver's body from the twisted, burning wreck, it looked like this.